I can't keep living like this, guys. Manchester United have been knocked out of the League Cup in the second round, a round that all the big teams don't touch, which is exactly why United were there, so it makes sense. And no, this was not some fairy tale. Grimsby did not win with a counter-attack and a dream. They were better. I've never seen someone more frantic. Brother, this is not quantum mechanics. You're playing Grimsby on a Wednesday night. 3 games down. League's back for less than 2 weeks. Somebody hit the alarm. We're in crisis mode already. Hello everyone, hope you're doing well. I begrudgingly said that I would be talking more about Man United this season. I'm regretting that decision. I might go back to the old ways quite soon, but you guys do seem to like seeing me suffer, and I guess United fans in general talk about their woeful team. So here we are. So Manchester United have just lost one of really their only 2 chances of silverware this season, arguably the one with better chances, and the summer transfer window isn't even over yet. Do you guys know how absurd that sounds? First things first, in case I don't state it enough and it doesn't come across that way, congrats to Grimsby. After the match, Christy Pym, the Grimsby goalkeeper, came out and basically said that he's a Manchester United fan, so he was half really upset about the result and also really happy because this is a historic event, and don't let anyone take that away. Really, really big win. Which I disagree with, actually. I'm going to say this right now. I disagree with it because everyone's saying this is a fairy tale result, but really it's not going to be that much of a fairy tale result in 2 seasons when these 2 teams are playing in the same league. And let me stop. Grimsby's midfield, their defensive organization, all of it was superb. They knew everything United were going to do before they actually did it, and you could say that maybe this was a case of United making them look good or them just being good in general. Maybe a bit of both. Back to United though. Cunha, Sesko, and Mbeumo. Welcome to hell. The honeymoon is already over and this season has barely even started. The saddest part about this is that even before this match, even before this season began, which you'd think United would have worked on these problems already, we knew what the issues were with this team, We've got an incredibly weak midfield that just doesn't have the right pieces of the puzzle that go in there, consistently being overrun. We've got wingbacks that are supposed to start really wide and also have really high starting positions for quick transitions who consistently keep getting caught out. We have center backs always being exposed during these transitions and none of them knowing what to do in these situations. We've got not one, but 2 goalkeepers who don't know what they're doing half the time and make the most basic of errors. If these players made these mistakes at other clubs, they would have been gone long ago. Not at Manchester United though. And guess what? Literally all of those problems which have been known to be the case and known to be present for a long time now were all present within this match against 4th tier opposition. And what we have now are some people blaming the formation, some blaming the players. I think it's everything. We have to be practical when we talk about things like this because Amarim Sporting played this formation, didn't they? They would have completely slapped Grimsby Town. They would completely slap Manchester United. They did slap Manchester City. This was the team that everybody was lording over and everyone was praising at that moment in time. What's the difference between that team and this Manchester United team? It's not a case of a formation that doesn't work and that naturally, inherently lends itself to having a really, to allowing for a vacuum to form inside this midfield. It's the players. It's these players that don't know what they're doing and can't really put themselves into these positions that they need to be in. I really wonder what's going on in training. I really do, because for him to keep on with this and to have so much faith in this system and these players and the way that they're playing, it's just, what's he seeing? Is he seeing something that we're not? I know for a fact that he's not, actually, because he's not seeing much at all. He wasn't even watching the penalty shootout. I'm surprised they even found a camera angle on him. He's so well hidden. Where's Wally? No. Where's Ruben? I really wonder why I stayed up to watch this match. I literally lost sleep over it. After the Arsenal match, you guys remember, a week and a half ago, I recorded the reaction to that one pretty much straight afterwards. Had some notes, looked positive, things were looking good, things were looking on the up, and I was this close to doing the same thing after this one, and thank the Pope that I didn't, because that would have been a disaster. This channel would have been packed up and catapulted into the moon. Okay, anyway, let's go into some match specifics, shall we? The problem with me making these videos and these Manchester United specific review videos after these matches is that I feel like I'm saying the exact same thing after every loss. which is why when they do win and I make a video, it's because something was different, whether it was motivation or whatever that might be the case. It just wasn't the case here, and I'm going to be repeating myself again over this video. Grimsby's midfield was very compact. They knew exactly how to draw United in, how to force them out wide, how to not give any sort of ways through the center of this game. They just ran more. Okay? They ran more, they were more committed, and the moral of the story is if you run more than Man United, you're probably going to beat them. And how sad is that? There was no midfield for this team, and it seems the way these players play, again, I'm not blaming the formation. It is the formation in some ways, but I'm looking at the players specifically as well and their understanding of this role. There's this perpetual problem where you have 3 centre-backs, all who are doing basically the same thing, and there's not much differentiation between their roles. Then you have these 2 midfielders who are consistently getting run over. So you have a centre-back, one of them, that goes into the midfield to try and shore up numbers, but then this leaves the backs exposed, and these guys don't know how to cover for each other. If this centre-back stays inside his position, then you're going to have one of these 2 midfielders having to drop back and assist within this massive vacuum that exists within the hole. But then you have one centre midfielder within the midfield that has to hold the fort against 2, 3, sometimes even 4 players, because that's the secret. Just put more men in the midfield, United won't be able to handle it. And what does this centre midfielder have to do? He's one man. He's one man on an island, all alone. No food, no water, no vibes. Just one guy staring at a Richter 10 tsunami. He's about to be completely vanquished from this earth, and he is most times, because Grimsby God, I can't even talk. Grimsby transitions so well. And one of the funniest things about this system and Amorim's interpretation of it and what these players are supposed to be doing is that one of its biggest strengths is its overwhelming power in width. The fact that we have these wide players, these wing backs that should be ready to kickstart any sort of attack and pin the opposition back. And then we have these wide cams that are able to penetrate these half spaces. It's supposed to be this way, where being forced out wide is supposed to be a strength. But if the ball never gets to them, then what's the point? And if they're being forced out wide just to be hounded and put in a trap, then it becomes even more pointless. And when you think it can't get any worse, it just does, because now we're moving over to the goalkeeper. You know, I'm old enough to at least have been alive when people said the transition between Schmeichel and Barthez was a generational disaster. And honestly, seeing what we have now, I wish I was still a toddler. Andre Onana. Oh my goodness. You know, he hasn't started the last 2 games, the first 2 games of the season, and a lot of people were asking why, because his replacement, Bayender, was making some fumbles. You know, he made a couple mistakes in each of these games, each of the first 2 games. And now we know why. You know, well, we knew why before, but now we have even more proof why. He just comes into the team and immediately makes mistakes. It's insane. I really don't see how a real proper goalkeeper wasn't a #1 priority for all the decision makers at this club. Yes, there are other positions that needed filling. I understand that completely. Yes, there was destabilization. Rashford, Garnacho, you know, some bad apples in the dressing room, reportedly, at the very least, when none of us were in there. But I think that the club probably could have done without one of Cunha or Mbumo, potentially even Šeško, if they just got a real competent goalkeeper in. Because if there's a competent goalkeeper in there, then United don't concede either of the 2 goals that they conceded in this game. Can you imagine having to choose between these 2? I don't wish this fate on anyone, let alone myself. You know, it's like that. It's like that would you rather that people always used to say when we were in high school. Would you rather sit on a carrot or eat it? Of course, I'm using less colorful language than is the case when someone probably said it to you. But if you're not the sort of person that would be pleased with doing either of those things, both of those are losses. First goal, overrun midfield in a quite fabulous transition, near post finish. Second goal, corner routine. How is it this easy to score from corners against these people? I don't understand. You know, fair play to the substitutions who came on and looked like they very nearly completed a rescue job. But this is not a good thing, because what this means is that the second string for Manchester United are basically 4th tier level, or at least on par with 4th tier. Oh my God. Onana got his hands on at least 3 penalties that he still let in. Oh, goodness gracious. Guys, how does it always come to this? I really don't get it. August isn't even over. The summer transfer window isn't even over, and we're already out of a cup competition. make it make sense. Somebody make it make sense. And you know, we're already seeing all of the usual arguments go on right now. I'll speed run through them for you right now, just in case you missed it, because I guarantee you that you're gonna see this being recycled within the news cycle over the next couple of months until Amarim is eventually sacked, or, you know, maybe for his own sanity, he steps down, because that's what looks like it's happening. Okay, I'll do them for you right now. The manager needs to go. He doesn't know what he's doing. He's out of his depth. No, he needs to stay because, you know, give him some time. And also, if he does go, then who's going to come in and replace him? Because there aren't any suitable candidates on the market. You're right. It's the players. The players are the problem right now. No. It's the ownership. The ownership are the problem. Obviously, they are, but still, it's the ownership. The ownership are the problem. No. It's the media. The media are putting too much pressure on this team. They can't handle the pressure. They're babies. No, they're just babies. They're millionaires. They keep getting paid so much money, but they can't handle the pressure. Oh my God. Oh no, let them cuddle them. Leave them alone. Let them have their time. Oh, the final one. No, it's the fans. The fans are the problem. They expect too much. Their expectations are way through the roof. Just lower them and maybe you'll be happy. That one I agree with. This might be the most unhinged I've ever been, honestly, and I'm happy it's at the end of the video, and I'm gonna end it right now. Today was supposed to be a good day. There's gonna be another video coming out today. It's gonna be a bit more on the lighter side, the funnier side. It's also Manchester United related, so watch out for that one. And there we have it. That's all for me. Hope you guys enjoyed. Hope you're having a great day. Cheers, and I will catch you in the next one.